YouTube family, it's Denise here again, back with another video, aka Love for My Curls. I hope everyone's had a lovely weekend, and I hope everyone's had a lovely, blessed week as well. And wherever you're watching from today, then welcome, and thank you so much for joining me. So in terms of today's video, now obviously there's a number of topics I can talk about, but I want to really touch upon the natural hair care myths out there. Now, don't get me wrong, I was a person as well that would follow these kind of so-called myths or rules or, suggestions, whatever you want to call it. And I was kind of following the trend, I'm not going to lie. Back in the day, I was following the trend. I didn't even know what was going on, kind of following all the advice out there and just finding out that actually, is this actually really working for me? Has this benefited my hair in any way, shape or form? And, throughout my whole journey, I've definitely come to the realization that what works for me might not work for somebody else. What works for somebody else might not work for me. So that's definitely something that I've learned. So a few of the hair care myths that have been out there, I mean, there's probably been a ton, but the ones I wanted to kind of touch upon today was firstly about hair growth, and that trims speed up hair growth. Now, I don't really believe this is the case. I think trims can make your hair more healthy because, as I've said in my previous video, that the end parts of our hair is the oldest part of our hair. So imagine this part was once there. So it's all traveled all the way down to this part, this length of my hair now. And obviously throughout that journey, it's gone through a lot of rough patches, I'm sure, with all the coloring I've done and, roughing it up in the shower when I'm washing my hair, and maybe not being as gentle with my brush styling, not maybe putting enough moisture in my hair throughout the years. Obviously, it's been touch and go with that, and obviously it's been a journey. So throughout that time, and obviously using heat as well on my hair. So throughout that time, it's gone through a lot of ups and downs, and as a result of that, split ends could have happened, could have taken place. And with the split ends just keep on traveling up the hair shaft. So imagine your hair's like this. This is your hair, and a split end is basically like that. So it goes in, it splits, and they'll just keep on splitting until it goes up the onto the hair shaft. So basically we want to kind of get rid of that damage, because split ends is damaged hair, to be honest with you. So you want to kind of cut those split ends off, just trim them off. I mean, I've done my own trims in the past. I wouldn't advise that. Maybe go to a hairdresser. Obviously there's been times where I've just not been able to go to the hairdressers, and it's just like, okay, let me just do this trim myself. So, and it hasn't always been the best trims because I'm not a hairstylist, so I definitely would advise going to a hairstylist for that. And now, how often you want to have your trims, I don't know, that's not controversial, but I know that there's a lot of advice out there saying, trim your hair once every 6 to 8 weeks or 12 weeks. I mean, I just go by what I've actually been doing to my hair. So if I feel like I've been causing a lot of damage to my hair, maybe I've used a lot of colors, I've used a lot of heat on my hair, let's just say I've straightened my hair on a number of times. Maybe I've not been so great with the heat protectants. I've had I've used like, I don't know, my heat setting on my blow dry has been on the highest setting or something like that. Then maybe I'll go for a trim a little bit more often in the year. But to be honest, I tend to have a trim twice a year, if I have to be honest. I just try to keep my hair as healthy as possible, because I feel like if you're going to go for a trim every 6 to 8 weeks, then will you really see the length? I don't know, because I feel like whatever hair has been growing from my scalp, I'm then cutting it off at the ends every 6 to 8 weeks. I'm not kind of like seeing that growth, to be honest with you, because whatever's growing, I'm cutting off. Whatever's growing, I'm cutting off every 6 to 8 weeks. So I kind of leave it a little bit longer, and that has really helped my hair. And I've noticed more length as a result of that. So I've definitely cut down the trims. Now, again, as I always say, this is what I do in my hair. I'm not saying that absolutely go out there and follow this advice. It's just basically something that I do to my hair, and I found that really, really has helped my hair, to be honest with you. So yeah, that's what I've done. Now it definitely helps with the health of your hair, but remember, hair grows from the scalp and especially from your follicles. You've got the follicle, which kind of needs a lot of nourishment and love, to be honest with you, but that's more from the inside, as well as kind of like, giving your hair a nice scalp massage, but getting that blood flow to your scalp as well. That helps feed the follicle. But in terms of like nourishment from the inside, you want to kind of focus on things like, well, this is a new one for me and something maybe I will trial out, and we'll see. And I'll definitely update everyone on the update of that as well if I do try it. But there's been a lot of talk about pumpkin seed oil. Now, pumpkin seed oil helps to block DHT. Now, DHT is a type of hormone, and basically it just starves and kills your follicle. It literally just strangles your follicle, really, and means that that follicle can no longer produce hair. So the fact that pumpkin seed oil can actually block that type of hormone is really, really beneficial, really. So I might try that out. Other things are like collagen, vitamin D. I used to be vitamin D deficient myself, so I'll definitely say on the back of that, please, visit your local doctor's GP service to find out actually, are you deficient in anything? So if you find that actually your hair's thinning, your hair's not growing like it used to, you're noticing more shedding, more patchy areas on your scalp, maybe it's a case where you're deficient in something. So going for maybe a routine blood test will actually determine whether there's actually something that you're missing that actually will help your hair growth. I would also say iron as well. You could have maybe low iron levels, and again, that's something else that you can look into with your doctor. So definitely visit your doctor and get a blood test. I would advise as well, because you just never know, especially if you're seeing something that's excessive. Then definitely routine blood tests might be beneficial for you. But remember, hair grows from the scalp, so that's just something to remember. So I believe with trims, it keeps your hair healthier. I wouldn't say it necessarily grows your hair. That's what I would say as well. Also, when it comes to like the scalp, you want to keep your scalp very healthy as well. So make sure that you're really focusing on, washing your hair. Wouldn't say too regular. You don't want to wash your hair too often, like, a few times in a week, depending on kind of what hair what type of hair you have. But I'll definitely say for me, washing my hair on a weekly basis has been so beneficial. I used to wash my hair once every 2 to 3 weeks. And don't get me wrong, that works for some, it doesn't work for others. But personally, for me, my preference is once a week, only because I tend to not brush my hair during the week as well, because I feel like that causes more breakage, and that actually breaks out the cast and the curl definition that I have in my hair. So I tend to just kind of in the morning use a little bit of Moroccan oil in my hair, the serum, which I can link up here. And I just kind of use that on my ends, keep my ends lubricated. And then I tend to do that on a daily basis. And then I tend to wash my hair maybe on a Saturday. And yeah, I'm good to go, really. So that's really helped my hair growth, I believe. So definitely keeping that scalp clean is a good thing to do. And then also when it comes to products, now there's been another myth about oils moisturizing the hair. Now, I've always known through my research, watching videos, just kind of, just reading up on this, that oil can't moisturize your hair. What moisturizes your hair is water. So if you find that a product has water as a first ingredient, whether it's like aqua, distilled water, even aloe vera juice, because I've seen majority of aloe vera juice is water, then you know that that's a moisturizing product. But anything where it's just like oils are just there to really seal the moisture into your hair. So you put something on that's quite moisturizing and hydrating, let's just say like a leave-in conditioner, and you put an oil on top that's supposed to help sealing the moisture. So I don't believe oils can moisturize your hair. So when I do see oils where it's like moisturizing oils, I think to myself, oh, that's kind of misleading, because what I know is that oils cannot moisturize your hair. Only water can be concealing the hair. So I found that incorporating more oils and kind of sealing serums into my hair has really, really helped retain the moisture in my hair. So I've also looked into this as well, so that everyone has like a moisture cycle. So throughout the week, you might find that actually your hair is able to hold on to moisture for 2 to 3 days. And then you find that actually after that period of time, your hair starts to feel dry. So you might want to, moisturize your hair, hydrate your hair, moisturize your hair, and then seal it in again. So you might want to use a little bit of water, a little bit of the product that you used on wash day, like a little bit of the cream, leave-in cream, curl cream, whatever you're using, and then seal that in with an oil. I would definitely advise as well, as on a side note, that when it does come to curl refreshing, if you are wanting to put more product in your hair, maybe stick to the products that you was using on wash day, because any other products might not mix very well. Now, I've used a ton of curl refreshers in the past, and they have been all right, but then I find that actually it gets a little bit producty after a few days, and maybe because it just hasn't mixed very well with the hair products that I've used on wash day. So what I do now is that I just refresh with the, if I am going to be refreshing, then I do refresh with the products that I used on wash day. But I'm able to just really just wake up in the morning and then just seal my my ends with the Moroccan oil. That seems to be fine for me, and a little bit of Curlsmith Stronghold hairspray as well. But if I do need that extra bit of hydration and moisture, then I will use what I used on wash day. So yeah, that's what I would advise as well. And yeah, so oil seals in moisture. That's what I believe. I've tested it out. It, you know, I think it. The thing is that if you keep on putting more and more oil in your hair, thinking, okay, it's actually moisturizing my hair, it's actually not. It's just sealing in whatever moisture you had. And depending on your moisture cycle, you might just be moisturized. You might just feel like you're moisturizing your hair, but actually you're just sealing in whatever is in your hair. That your hair just might just be dry at that point. It just might be dry, and it just needs to have a whole new hydrating and moisture refresh, to be honest with you, and then seal that in. So yeah, I hope that makes sense. But yeah, tried it out. Oils seals in moisture. When it comes to protective styles as well, now protective styles, I think protective styles is, I don't know, it does work. I think it's beneficial. I mean, it's worked on a lot of people when it comes to, like, adding in braids, whether that is doing that yourself. I know some people out there can do their own braids. Obviously, some people go to the hairdressers. I do think that it does help your hair, and a lot of people have experienced hair growth as a result of that. Now, I've had a weave done years ago because I experienced really, really bad breakage. This was maybe about, I don't know, about 20, maybe about 15 to 20 years ago now. And I put a weave in, and then after it came out, my hair was flourishing. So I definitely feel that these things can help. However, you don't want to keep these things in for too long without kind of like washing your hair and keeping that scalp healthy and clean. And then also be mindful of how tight the braids are, how tight the protective style is on your hair, because it might, cause some sort of traction onto your hair. It might cause breakage, all that pulling on your hair is not great over a long period of time. Even styles where you haven't got it's not braids or weaves or anything like that, even tying up your hair so tight. Now, I used to do this in the past. I used to think, oh my gosh, the tighter the better, in terms of just making it look nice and neat, but actually it was causing really, really thinning edges. I mean, my hair's is fine. It is fine around my hairline, but I found that it was even worse when I was always tying up my hair so tight. I was brushing it, I was putting gel in, I was really brushing it to make it look really sleek, but actually it was causing more damage. So just being mindful of, keeping that scalp healthy and clean, but then also making sure that whatever styles that you have is not too tight, it's not pulling on your hair, because obviously that can cause damage as well. So yeah. And then when we talk about shrinkage. Now, I've heard as well that shrinkage is unhealthy, but actually, shrinkage is a sign of great elasticity in your hair. So sometimes, when you're doing your curly hair and it's like, oh my gosh, it's down here, and then shrinks up there, and you're just like, oh my gosh, like what's going on with my hair? Some videos I've watched, it's like, oh my gosh, my hair's unhealthy, or something's wrong there. But actually, no, it's a great sign that your hair has got a lot of elasticity. Now, like I mentioned in my previous video, elasticity is the ability of your hair to be able to keep stretching and not kind of like break and snap so easily. It's able to kind of bounce back into the structure that it normally is in. So if you've got nice curls, and then you're able to just stretch it and it kind of bounces back nicely, then that you've got good elasticity. But if it just kind of snaps as you're just stretching it out, then that maybe you need a little bit more protein in your hair care routine as well. So shrinkage is not bad. It's just a sign of good elasticity. I know sometimes shrinkage, obviously, some people love it, some people hate it, because obviously it makes your hair look, if someone is after longer hair, then obviously it makes your hair look shorter, isn't it? Because it's all springy. So what you could do is get your blow dryer and then stretch out your hair, and then just kind of like slowly use the heat setting, and then just blow dry up and down like this on like a medium heat, and then that will help stretch out your hair as well, make it look longer. So that's something else I tend to do sometimes if I want a longer look. Another hair care myth that I'm aware of as well is that silicones are bad for your hair. Now, I don't really believe this. I've used silicones in my hair a number of times. I know a lot of heat protectants that are kind of serum based does have that silicone element to it. It's great for heat protection. It's great to seal in moisture in your hair as well. I mean, I use the Moroccan hair oil, and that's got a high level of silicones. And to be honest, if you are clarifying, let's just say, in my opinion, obviously from what I do, maybe once every 3 weeks, once every 2 to 3 weeks, then I think you should be fine. When it comes to silicones, it probably will build up on your hair if you use it every day, but if you do incorporate the clarifying, then I think you're all fine. So personally, in my opinion, silicones ain't that bad. I know that silicones are in quite a few deep conditioners as well, some leave-in conditioners, and they really work well for slip. They help to detangle your hair. I tend to look out for it a lot of the times when I do want to use something that's really detangling in my daughter's hair. So it works really well, and yeah, so it's all good from me. Silicones ain't that bad. So yes, I just kind of wanted to keep this video kind of short and sweet, just to touch upon a few of the hair care myths out there. I think the main thing to remember is that scalp health is everything. So making sure that your scalp is nice and healthy by nourishing it, also from the inside as well. Thinking about your diet. Exercise can also help as well, because that can really increase blood flow to your scalp. Feed those follicles that your hair can grow, and then also take in certain supplements as well. But again, please visit your doctor, because again, you could be deficient in something, so maybe a routine blood test will help with that. And then also just thinking about your lifestyle and your techniques, and that really matters as well. Thinking about how much time that you can spend on your hair, and also the kind of techniques that you use as well. So when I talk about techniques, making sure that your hair is not pulled too tight, because again, that can cause tension to your hair. Making sure that you're keeping your hair nice and moisturized. You're sealing in that moisture as well. You're not using too much high heat on your hair as well. So thinking about the techniques as well can really help. So yes, I hope that's helped today. Kind of keeping it, as I said, short and sweet. But a question that I have for you today is, do you have a strong opinion on the oils versus moisture debate? Let me know in the comment section down below. Well, thank you so much for watching today, and please like and subscribe down below. Please comment and let me know any other content as well that you would like to see from me. That'd be really helpful. And yes, I hope everyone has a blessed day today. Take care. Signing out. Love for my curls.